here on Lagos television. It is such a day like this that you will realize that the Yoruba language is quite difficult. And sometimes when you speak English and you are told to switch to Yoruba, you just start praying. And when you have Oluko beside you, hey, I don't know, but I'll try as much as possible. My producer wants me to do a human's job this morning and do some introduction in Yoruba before we switch back to English. Ẹ káàbọ̀ padà sí orí ètò. Ní orí ètò lénìí, a ní àlejò pàtàkì tí ó darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí ètò yìí lénìí. Kí la dẹ̀ fẹ́ gbé yẹ̀wò, a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa èdè àti àṣà wa. Báwo ni a ṣe máa rí pé èdè yìí ò parun? Ṣé English ni?
Minus 200 naira.
I am doing well. Olùkọ́ ṣé mo gbìyànjú?
Ẹ ń gbìyànjú.
Mo gbìyànjú. Ní orí ètò ní àárọ̀ yìí, inú wa dùn wípé a pè wọ́n sì jẹ́ wa. Inú mi dùn láti fi àlejò wa hàn ní èní. Olùkọ́ ni a mọ̀ wọ́n sí o. Lórí ètò lénìí, a sọ̀rọ̀ nípa èdè àṣà Yorùbá àti ètò wọn tí gbogbo èèyàn ti mọ̀ wọ́n, Masu Ibu. Báwo ni wọ́n ṣe ronú nípa ètò yìí àti báwo ni gbogbo wa ṣe máa rí pé ètò yìí àti àṣà Yorùbá kò parun. Olùkọ́,
ẹ káàbọ̀, wọ́n gúnlẹ̀ dáadáa.
Fabilola,
ẹ káàbọ̀ sí orí ètò yìí.
that was really good. Really
Don't, because of what I have done, invite me on Masu Ibu.
Pẹ̀lú gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ sọ yìí, ó ká owó yín sì máa kí síbẹ̀.
Tí ìbàdàn ìṣọmọ onínàkúnà.
Ó máa tó dá lè ṣẹ́ sílẹ̀.
Because this morning we're pleased to have our guest join us in the studio, Lekan Fabilola. And of course, he'll be telling us all about himself and of course how he came about this program, Masu Ibu. Because again, we do know that this program is doing all it can to strengthen not only the Yoruba language, but also the culture. Good morning.
Ẹ káàárọ̀.
Ẹ káàárọ̀.
Good morning. Good morning. So I'll be doing much of code mixing.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
that's
fine.
fine.
That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
Because of
us. All right, let's start this way. You are an enthusiast about the Yoruba language. You're very particular about the Yoruba language. Take us through how this began with you.
I have this opening phrase that I normally tell people when they ask me about Yoruba language. Why Yoruba? You didn't study Yoruba, you didn't do anything Yoruba, so why Yoruba? And there's this phrase that says, "Onwa waye la ye," which means we only came to this world to lay what you came to this world to lay. Because the word aye in itself, beyond the being sacred, is coming from the word ye, which means to lay.
Okay.
So you say adiye ye eyin. So the word ye means to lay. So God wants something done on earth, and he said, okay, I want this particular person to go to the earth to go and ye the purpose of God. Right? So you then come to this world to lay that purpose, and after you lay it, you live. Right? So that is why we as human, we believe we are odoniwa, we are dust. So God breathed the breath of life into us, which is called Igba in Yoruba. And Igba is coming from the word Gba, which means to take.
Okay.
Right? So everything that we have, we receive them, including the breath that we breathe. So you Gba, Igba. So the Igba you took from God is existence. So that existence that you took from God, you came to this world to lay the purpose to which of that existence. So whether you lay it or you don't lay it, time Igba is going. So if you then lay it, time will eventually go, and whatever you do with that thing, with that existence that you have, will be told 100, 50, 1,000 years after you finish laying what you came to lay, and you've gone. Right? So what I came to lay is Yoruba. Because God knew, Olodumare knew that at a time there will be a group of people that have a decline in their culture, and they say, okay, yeah, something has to be done to make sure that we revitalize it, so that we can see the juice, we can milk it, so we can see the value in the language and the culture. Okay. Right. So that is why I'm here. That is my purpose. Okay. I only do Yoruba.
Sorry, just to add to what you said, I mean, you've talked about the fact that you're fulfilling a purpose. That said, but your mother played a vital role in this. Take us through how she started this journey on your behalf, and you didn't realize that she was laying that foundation.
All right. So my mom did not go to school. Right. So the only thing she knew was Ami. On Fifi Ami, sorry, Ede Yoruba. And that's the only thing she taught me. Then it doesn't make sense. Right. And I went to school. I went to Covenant University. I did computer science. I did, and I've always knew I was going to do Yoruba, but I don't know what I want to do with Yoruba.
Right.
So now, even while in secondary school, I mean primary, secondary, I could sing with Ami. Due to that knowledge of being taught Ami, right from being very young. Right. So the Ami that I knew, that's what I'm using today. So if she didn't teach me Ami, I probably would be struggling, in teaching, because there will be no way, nowhere
that you could have learned it like you did at that time.
Learned it like I learned it.
Talking about Ami, I just want to, chip in something. Do you know that it is this same Ami, Doremi, I use for my English pronunciations? I just rely on the sound, Do-Re-Mi. I now apply it to the English word I'm learning how to pronounce. I appreciate the Yoruba language a lot, because I studied English and I had friends. I had to take an elective in Yoruba. That Yoruba destroyed my life. That almost made me repeat a whole semester, But I appreciate, because it was everything we were doing in English. They were doing. They were learning phonetics. They were translation, syntax, on everything in English. That's why I always run away. I respect people who can speak Yoruba. Now to my question, you said something about declining, of Yoruba culture and language. So in your view, how endangered do you think the Yoruba language is today? Especially, we blame, we point fingers a lot at the younger generation, and I think it is us.
What are you teaching them?
What are we teaching them? So how endangered is the Yoruba language?
Yes, Kamak Peoroso is endangered. Very, 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 very endangered. You know that it's endangered when you have a child that can't speak Yoruba. That means when she grows up and give birth to our own children, the children will not speak.
Because you can't give what you don't have.
You can't give what you don't have. So being endangered, people say, Shebi, you have programs, people are doing TikTok, people are doing a lot of things in Yoruba and all that stuff. It's content.
It's content,
Yeah, content. They are not speaking Yoruba off camera.
Yeah.
Right. So I've encountered people that I talk to, I'd be like, once we want to have conversation, they are mute. They'll be like, no, you see, I've seen people who are Yoruba that said they are Igbo.
What now? Why are you turning your eyes? No name was mentioned.
I didn't mention
no name was mentioned.
Bullets. It's not vulgar, it's target.
right. So you see, is the what is endangered. So what we can do? What we can do? Language has to be fashionable because we live in an era of things becoming fashionable. You know the Gen Z right now. You know, I was teaching someone yesterday, and she said she did like this.
What is that?
It's clapping.
So
Now that's, and they have expression
this.
of clapping. So we have to be conscious about making it fashionable. So what will attract a Gen Z to come and learn Yoruba? Right? She paid with her money. She paid her money to learn Yoruba. So that means we are doing something right. To making sure that it's fashionable, it's attractive. So language teaching has to go beyond law. I want to, you see, we have to now make it such that when we speak, we let them see what they are speaking. You know, you can speak Spanish, you can speak French, but to bati di Yoruba, ani shogbo Yoruba. So it's possible for you to speak Yoruba and not hear Yoruba and not understand Yoruba, right? So if you then say the word so, for example, so, which means to say, but it goes beyond so. So is to germinate. Ten your band say obe. Wani o so. So so is to come to life.
Right.
So when you tell someone to come and learn your language, and you say this say that you say in English is so in Yoruba, and it goes beyond your say, and that is why our forebears will not so negative, because they know that whatever they saw has capacity to germinate and come to life, right? So we just speak kilo so, and so if you hear that, you then say mo fe so oro, and the word oro, raw, is soft.
Right.
So what you say has to be soft on people, to be harsh on people, right? You teach a language, you are teaching culture, right? And the word raw means to surround. When a arrow more, that means to buy raw is to surround, to to tie around something. So if when our mothers speak, right, so whatever you say to people
has to be positive.
Right. Because it has capacity to go with the person, to be, as you said. So if I go okay, are you going down? In Jesus' name, I will never go down. Right? When you are broke, you say, and when you are sick, you say, not because you are not going through it, but because you know that the more you say it,
the more
affirmative it becomes. So you see what language is doing. So when you say it to someone that way, when you teach the language that way, they want to come back to class. It makes more sense, right?
Okay, so now she said something about people, we pointing fingers to the Gen Zs, but again, it's really the fault of our parents. And so, how intentional?
Are you not a parent?
Her children understand Igbo.
Yes, and even Yoruba, because I speak both.
Both. Okay.
Yes, I do. So how intentional should families, now not just say mothers and both mothers and fathers, now how intentional should they be, and should Yoruba language, that's for Yorubas and any other tribe, be the first language to be spoken in the home?
Absolutely. Absolutely. See, now, you know, not that I didn't want to answer, you know, saying it's the fault from our parents.
Right.
We don't have to point finger to anyone. All right. So the parent also will say, my mom did not speak Yoruba to me. Okay. The mom will say, Emino. Wọ́n sọ pé vernacular ni asanwó nígbà tá wà nílé ẹ̀kọ́ ó jẹ́ kó sú mi. right? So it then goes down to the person that is late.
And the person cannot defend
And the person
themselves.
cannot defend himself. So it's a conscious thing. So you have to see the need to actually bring it back to life. Now, I was teaching 2 days ago, and after the class, and I said, oh, come and greet my parent wants to greet you. And the parent told me a story that someone in Nigeria traveled to Germany, US to learn, for schooling. Then there's a school roommate that she had, and, nasty roommate. So whenever the mom called and she want to talk to the mom.
That's your Alima.
That's my daughter. My daughter does that.
Hello, mommy. Get here, oh nasty.
Girl, nasty. You put it together.
Now, the mother now see the need that ọmọ a lè sọ̀rọ̀ kọ̀kọ̀ báyìí o. Oya lọ kọ́ Yorùbá. You have to see the need. You have to see why. I still see people that say, kí ni Yorùbá ṣe fún mi? But you have to see it. So I don't force people to say, oh, this. What I do is, let's make it fashionable. People want to do Masu Ibu now. People want to come on it because
they are very bold.
It's fashionable. So we have to make the language fashionable, language appealing. Language teachers have to now go beyond just saying the word. Have to dig deep to the root of the word, to making sure that you are now teaching with preaching, right? And when they hear that, they be like, oh, I won't forget. This song now, I know someone somewhere just hearing it the way I explained it for the very first time, and it makes sense to them. I'll be like, whoa, and that is it. Oh, that is it. Then let me know more. I want to know more. With that, you now say that Yoruba ma ku rara o, kò lè kú lórí mi o, nítorí there are things that are inherent in Yoruba tí ò ní jẹ́ kí n fẹ́ kó kú.
Okay, let me take this next question, and I'll try as much as possible to take this in Yoruba. Nígbà tí a bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò ẹ ní pé a máa lo èdè méjèèjì láti fi ṣe ètò yìí ni. Ipa wo ni àwọn olùkọ́ iléèwé ni wọ́n ń kó? Torí a lè yan ẹnìkankan sílẹ̀. Ipa wo náà ń kó ní ti dáadáa àti ní ìdàkejì láti rí pé a gbé èdè yìí lárugẹ kò dẹ̀ parun.
Ẹ ṣe mọ̀ pé ẹni tí ó fẹ́ jẹ́ kí nǹkan má bàjẹ́, ó gbọ́dọ̀ rí wípé ìdí láti lè má jẹ́ kí nǹkan yẹn bàjẹ́. Kí ni ìdí tí mi ò fi fẹ́ jẹ́ kó bàjẹ́? Ẹni tó jẹ́ olùkọ́ Yorùbá, ṣé ìwúrí ẹ̀ ni láti jẹ́ olùkọ́ Yorùbá? Torí nǹkan tó bá jẹ́ ìwúrí yín, tó bá jẹ́ ìfojúsùn yín, pé ìdí tí mo fẹ́ fi lọ kọ́ Yorùbá ni wípé mi ò fẹ́ kí èdè Yorùbá parun. Ẹnìyàn wá ṣe gbogbo nǹkan, á sa gbogbo ipá láti lè rí wípé èdè yóò gbọ́dọ̀ parun o. Ọ̀nà wo ni mo lè gbà láti lè máa jẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ kan fẹ́ kọ́ èdè yìí. Ṣùgbọ́n púpọ̀ jù nǹkan tá à ń rí ni wípé wọ́n fún mi ní Yorùbá, mo lọ ṣe Yorùbá ni. Àwa olùkọ́ èdè Yorùbá, àwa ti di ìrọ́sẹ́yìn nígbà tí àwọn olùkọ́ bá kóra jọ. Nítorí àwọn tí wọ́n ń kọ́ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì, tí wọ́n ń kọ́ ìmọ̀ sáyẹ́nsì, wọ́n máa ń jáde tán.
Agapa.
Wọ́n máa ń jáde tán. Àwa tá a jẹ́ olùkọ́ èdè Yorùbá, àwa sẹ́yìn ṣebí wọ́n ṣáà fún wa ni a ṣáà ríṣẹ́ ṣe la ṣe yà sí díẹ̀. Àwa tá a jẹ́ olùkọ́ èdè Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́kọ́ mọ ìdí tí a fi ń kọ́ èdè Yorùbá àti ká jẹ́ kí ìwúrí yẹn kó wá látinú. Nísìnyí wọ́n máa pè mí ní olùkọ́ Yorùbá bí ọba ìlú kan, nítorí pé olùkọ́ èdè Yorùbá ni mí, inú mi dẹ̀ dùn. Mo lè kọ́ Yorùbá níbikíbi ní àwùjọ. àwa la gbọ́dọ̀ múra wa nítorí tá bá ń dúró de bóyá olú iléeṣẹ́ àbí ìjọba àbí láti sọ pé ó yẹ fún olùkọ́ èdè Yorùbá ní owó ọ̀tọ̀ ẹ tọ́jú olùkọ́ èdè Yorùbá. Olùkọ́ èdè Yorùbá olùkọ́ ni ní ilé ẹ̀kọ́ kan èèyàn ló máa yára ẹ̀ sọ́tọ̀ tó máa sọ wípé mo dúró tán tí ò bá sí èdè yìí kò séèyàn ní yín tó máa wà ń bí. èmi gan ni olùkọ́ níbí kì í ṣe nípa tìgbéraga nípa mímọ̀ nǹkan tí ẹni yẹn jẹ́. téèyàn bá wá ní irú ẹ̀mí yẹn á wá lè jókòó tán ẹ sọ pé ó yá o olórí òṣìṣẹ́ bí a ṣe fẹ́ máa kọ́ èdè Yorùbá leléyìí o ọ̀nà tí a fẹ́ gbà láti kọ́ èdè Yorùbá leléyìí o nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe fún èdè Yorùbá leléyìí o tọ́n bá dẹ̀ dáhùn ó yá ibo la lè lọ ta la lè bá ẹ̀yin ọmọ nǹkan ó rọrùn a nílò láti jẹ́ kó wá láti inú kí ẹni yẹn torí ẹni tó bá ṣípá là ń gbé. mo máa ń rí olùkọ́ èdè Yorùbá lóríṣiríṣi tí wọ́n máa sọ pé ṣe bí tí ẹ yàtọ̀ kíní kò sí àtọ̀ tó yà tí ò dánmọ́. olùkọ́ a gbọ́dọ̀ gbéra wa nígbà táwọn wà ní ilé ẹ̀kọ́ tán bá ń ṣe wọ́n ní kí ló ń kà mò ń ka ìmọ̀ olùwòsàn medicine mò ń ka ìmọ̀ mo fẹ́ di agbẹjọ́rò lọ́ọ̀ ẹ mọ̀ wọ́n ṣe máa ń rìn ní ọgbà ilé ẹ̀kọ́ wọ́n ṣe máa ń rìn wọ́n ṣe máa ń ojú ń sọ ṣùgbọ́n tó bá ń ka Yorùbá ìmúra yẹn gan
kò tí ẹ wùyàn pàápàá
kò ní wùyàn a gbọ́dọ̀ wà tó bá a gbọ́dọ̀ olùkọ́ Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe débi pé wọ́n ní ṣé Yorùbá nìkan náà ló ń ṣe báyìí
takọ̀ yìí pọ̀ tó yìí
tó pọ̀ tó báyìí ṣe bí olùkọ́ Yorùbá ni mí ẹ dẹ̀ pè mí wá bí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
àwa olùkọ́ Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ wá láti inú wa láti orí wa láti mọ̀ wípé olùkọ́ ni wá olùkọ́ ni wá torí èdè ni ẹ̀mí àṣà tàbí èdè lẹ̀mí àṣà àṣà ṣà is to pick ṣà to select kíkí ni wá àṣà ìsọ̀rọ̀sí wa àṣà ìhùwàsí wa àṣà bí a ṣe ń ṣe àwọn nǹkan tá a ṣà yẹn la sọ di àṣà ìgbà tá a bá ń ṣe wọ́n la sọ wọ́n di ìṣe ibi tá a ti rí culture and tradition nìyẹn tí ò bá dẹ̀ sí èdè báwo ni a ṣe fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àṣà ẹ̀yin lẹ wá jẹ́ olùkọ́ tí ó ń kọ́yàn nípa èdè tó ń gbé àṣà lárugẹ kò wá ní jẹ́ ìwúrí mi ò ẹ wá sọ pé mi ò ń ṣe olùkọ́ báwo lẹ ṣe fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ láìsí mi nǹkan tó yẹ kó wá sórí olùkọ́ nìyẹn ìrànlọ́wọ́ wá torí ọmọ tó bá ṣipá là ń gbé.
so ẹni tí wọ́n fẹ́ ràn lọ́wọ́ òun fúnra ẹ̀ láti gbé ẹsẹ̀ síta pé. okay don't worry you don't want to try.
Okay.
Do you want to try. You wrote down your question in Yoruba. ó yá ẹ kà jáde.
ṣá àwọn náà ní ibo làwọn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́.
àwọn
ní ọmọ pẹ́yìn ni.
àwọn ni.
okay ẹ jẹ́ kí n kà olùkọ́ ṣe rò pé a tún lè fi èdè wa ṣàkóso ní iléèwé àti ọ́fíìsì.
ọ́fíìsì
àti ọ́fíìsì ní ọjọ́ iwájú
jọ́gàn mọ̀ pé lè ṣe ní ọ́fíìsì even joy.
ilé-iṣẹ́ okay did you get the question? ṣé ẹ gbọ́ ìbéèrè mi.
ẹ̀yin gan ṣe rí sí kò dá yín lójú kò dá sísì.
ṣé gbọ́ ìbéèrè mi.
mo gbọ́.
okay.
ẹ bá wọn dáhùn.
ó dáa
ṣe. do you want to say it in English?
No worry, don't
worry. ẹni ṣe mo rò pé èdè àti àṣà Yorùbá a lè fi èdè máa kọ́ àwọn ọmọ nílé ẹ̀kọ́ àti lílò wọn ní ibi iṣẹ́.
like the Chinese do and the Indians do and.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo gbàgbọ́ dáadáa àdí mi ò bá gbàgbọ́ kí la wá ń kọ́ èdè Yorùbá fún mo gbàgbọ́ ṣùgbọ́n a kì í fi ọjọ́ kan bọ́ ọmọ tó rù yó Shemo.
I don't know.
You don't understand.
I don't understand that one.
Aki is a word that says one does not.
Okay.
Fi ọjọ́ kan, that means use one day. Bo means to feed, to fend.
Okay, malnourished.
Ọmọ tó ru means to be malnourished. Yo means to be full.
Okay.
Aki fi ọjọ́ kan bọ́ ọmọ tó ru yo.
Of course.
That means
You have to nurture.
It takes time.
It takes
if
time, yeah.
a malnourished child, you now say, okay, today, oh yeah, jẹ ìrẹsì, oh yeah, jẹ iyán, oh yeah, aku. Díẹ̀, ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan èjèèjì, láyọ̀ sẹ̀lẹ́kù, díẹ̀.
Kọ̀ọ̀kan là ń yọ ẹsẹ̀ ní ṣòkòtò.
Eku níbi tá a ti ń ṣepo. Jẹ́ mọ̀ pé wọ́n máa ń tẹ epo ni wọ́n máa ń tẹ̀.
Okay, one by one.
Tí gbogbo wa bá fẹ́ sá jáde lẹ́ẹ̀kan, ó máa ta sí gbogbo wa lára. Ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan èjèèjì là ń yọsẹ̀ lẹ́kù. Ibi tí mò ń lọ ni wípé a máa débẹ̀. Àwa gbọ́dọ̀ ní ìkọ̀ọ̀kan èjèèjì ká rò pé mo fẹ́ sọ Yorùbá, mo fẹ́ máa sọ Yorùbá sí àwọn ọmọ mi. Àwọn tí wọ́n bá jẹ́ Yorùbá tí bá ní ẹ káàárọ̀ tẹ́tí lè dáhùn padà pé ẹ káàárọ̀, mi ò sọ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì sí Yorùbá ni màá máa bá yín sọ. Mo wá lè máa ṣàmúlùmálà o, ṣùgbọ́n ibi tí mo ti ṣàmúlùmálà yẹn tó bá dọ̀la màá tún fẹ́ ṣe dáadáa níbẹ̀. Tá a bá ń ṣe díẹ̀díẹ̀ bí mo ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí náà kò wá lọ́jọ́ kan. Gbogbo nǹkan ló sọ pé kí n má gbọ́ Yorùbá torí wọ́n sọ Yorùbá sí mi. Àwa gbọ́dọ̀ múra fúnra wa. Tá a bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń ṣe yẹn, àwa tá a wá jẹ́ olùkọ́ èdè Yorùbá náà tá à ń kọ́ àwọn èèyàn ní Yorùbá. Tẹ́yìn náà tí à ń kọ́ ní Yorùbá tẹ́ ń sọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo ìgbà. Díẹ̀díẹ̀ àwa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń gbé dé ìjọba. A máa wá ní àwọn alákòóso tó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n mú ìmọ̀ Yorùbá lọ́kùnkúndùn. Àwa máa sọ fún wọn pé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ọjọ́ kan tẹ́ fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ nílé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin ẹ ṣe sọ di ọjọ́ méjì. Tá bá ti ṣe sáà kan ọjọ́ méjì tá à ń lò yẹn ẹ ṣe jẹ́ ká sọ di ọjọ́ mẹ́ta. Ó dáa, ẹ jẹ́ ṣé a lè gbé wọlé ẹ̀kọ́ ni ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń ṣe ìtàkùrọ̀sọ ní èdè Yorùbá. Ó yá ẹ jẹ́ ká wò bóyá àwọn Yorùbá kìíní. Ó yá ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí àjọ tó wà ní ìgbọ̀nù ètò ẹ̀kọ́. Ó yá báwo la ṣe lè ṣe tí a máa kọ ìwé pélébé kan ní èdè Yorùbá ní orí ìmọ̀ ìtàn, lórí ìmọ̀ mímọ̀ ara ẹni. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ka eléyìí ká fi eléyìí díẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kì í ṣe ẹ̀kan gbàm
ló máa ṣe.
à ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa fi sí díẹ̀. Tá a bá ń ṣe díẹ̀ kì í ṣọ̀rọ̀ ọdún kan, kì í ṣọ̀rọ̀ ọdún méjì, kì í ṣọ̀rọ̀ ọdún mẹ́wàá, kì í ṣọ̀rọ̀ ogún ọdún, kì í ṣọ̀rọ̀ ọgbọ̀n ọdún. Torí nǹkan tó ti
bàjẹ́ sẹ́yìn.
Kì í ṣe ọjọ́ kan
It happened in one day.
ni la máa fi túnṣe. Díẹ̀. Ó lè má jẹ́ nígbà tí àwa sì rí gbogbo eyín. Ó lè jẹ́ ìgbà tí àwa náà ti máa di arúgbó, ṣùgbọ́n ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀.
I want clarification on something. That's òwe. When I said ìkọ̀kan là ń yẹsẹ̀ ní ṣòkòtò, is it wrong?
À ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Wọ́n sọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Tó dàbí pé wọ́n bá ní igi gogoro mágùn mi lójú òkèèrè láti ń dọ̀jì.
So sometimes people also do these things to favor what they want.
Yes, you see, Yoruba is a very, very interesting language. You know, Yoruba is like Bible. Yoruba is like Quran. You see,
different translations.
When a pastor read a portion of the Bible, he can twist it to actually fit into a narration.
Preaching about.
Right. And another person, the same way, is contextual.
Right.
Okay.
And that's what Yoruba is. It's so flexible. So that's why it's adaptive. And that's why we can take so many things in. Right. So that's why people will say tirai instead of gbìyànjú. Ọ́fíìsì. Sùúrù instead of ìwà pẹ̀lẹ́. Àdúrà instead of ìwúre. Àṣẹ instead of àṣẹ ló yẹ kán sọ wọ́n ní àmì. You see, we take so much into us, and the problem is when we take it in,
We leave it there.
We leave our own
and then adopt the
and
one we've
adopt
taken.
one. So people now, they will be struggling. Sùúrù Yorùbá ni.
Mbolawa ti rí sùúrù.
Is Lárúbáwá.
Okay, let me ask my own question.
You want to ask your own in Yoruba?
Yes, now she can try.
Kí ni ẹ̀tọ́ àwọn tó ń ṣe eléré, fíìmù eléré? Forgive me for the film. Àwọn tó ń
minus 5.
Nǹkan tá à ń sọ nìyẹn.
My mom,
ní ìṣe
no,
Yorùbá.
she's
Ọmọ Ìgbò ni
she's
Ṣé
not
ń gbọ́?
Yoruba.
Tèwé bá pẹ́ lára ọ̀ṣẹ́ ń
Ó
kọ́.
yẹ kó ti dọ̀ṣẹ́.
Dọ̀ṣẹ́.
Ìwọ ń kọ̀wé gbàgbàgbàgbàgbà.
Àwọn tó ń ṣe
Eré orí ìtàgé.
eré orí ìtàgé, àwọn tó ń kọrin, kí ni ẹ̀tọ́ wọn
Ó há
láti
gbé èdè yìí lárugẹ.
lárugẹ?
Can we say promote?
Gbé lárugẹ ni.
I'm just
lárugẹ.
oh my
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
goodness.
Ṣé mọ̀ pé ó rọrùn láti torí èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì ni púpọ̀ nínú wa ń sọ jù, ni wọ́n fi ń kọrin gbogbo. Mo lè kọrin tó pọ̀ báyìí tó jẹ́ pé Gẹ̀ẹ́sì ti wọ̀ ó sì ti wọ̀ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì àbí ṣe ẹ fìlà tó mo eléré orí ìtàgé ṣàlàfíà lẹ́wà ẹ fìlà tó mo
Ṣẹ̀wá okay.
ṣẹ́wà okay
That one is so popular.
kẹ́dẹ̀ ní nice day ṣe mọ̀.
Can they take care
Even,
right?
even the one that does not have okay, shewa.
So what we can do, you see, that's why I said okay, if you're Joko Bomo Toru you, we cannot, because most people, we are doing this, you know, an actor is looking for daily bread and he has to deliver. And the producer did not say this is not a
You can't code mix.
You can't code mix on this film. So, and he has to deliver the lines however he wants to. And when producers see now, the twist is if we are now so conscious, you got to a point that what I want to be doing is Yoruba film, Igbo film, Hausa film, strictly in the language. Ṣebí aṣá ń wo Korean,
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
àbí aṣá ń wo àwọn Indian tí wọ́n ní sọ kíní látàyè John ni o tó fán ayáyá wọ́n sọ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì ń bẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n à ń wò tẹ́lẹ̀ bá dà wọ́n á wò àwọn eré gan tá à ń wò lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí
Wọ́n ti ń gbìyànjú.
wọ́n tó jẹ́ pé èdè Yorùbá nìkan ni wọ́n sọ nínú ẹ̀ ṣúlẹ̀
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
wọ́n á wò nǹkan tó ń tì wá ni pé àwọn èèyàn àwọn Gen Z àwọn Gen Z tó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n gbọ́ èdè kínní nǹkan tá a bá nù wọ́n náà máa jẹ a kàn ń wò pé wọ́n lè kò ní tà ní ṣé àwọn sinimá ní ẹnu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí ṣé bí wọ́n ń tà tán jẹ́ Yorùbá nìkan ni wọ́n ń san bẹ́ẹ̀ tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń gba àmì ẹ̀yẹ káàkiri àgbáyé a gbọ́dọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ ni ṣùgbọ́n mo mọ̀ pé a máa débẹ̀ tó jẹ́ wípé ṣé wọ́n pé níbi ọdún 5 ọdún 10 sẹ́yìn téèyàn bá lè sọ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì ara oko ni
Nísìn Yorùbá ni
téèyàn bá lè sọ Yorùbá téèyàn bá lè ṣe ìdègbè wá ní I think you're failing as a mother. You see, these kids, this child may want to become governor one day, and they are asking, "Oh yeah, come and address your people." And you know, say, "Who come in?" wọ́n máa bú yín o. Ẹ jẹ́ tètè lọ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa ṣe tó máa sọ Yorùbá o, tó máa sọ èdè yín o, ẹ mú mọ́lé o. Kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ní ọdún 10 sẹ́yìn.
Okay, Oluko, time is fast spent. Let's quickly talk about Masu Ibu. I guess you also saw a need and you felt, okay, because of your belief that, you know, you were called to fill a gap and you started Masu Ibu. What inspired you in the first place to put that program in place, and how did you come about the name Masu Ibu?
Right, so Masu Ibu was conceived in 2007 actually.
That long?
Yes, 2007. I was in Covenant University when.
That was about 18 years ago.
Yes, it was conceived in 2007. You see, I've been doing this all my life. When I was in Covenant University, I was doing Yoruba. Everybody in that 4 years, they know that this is what it does, right? And when I was in chapel, when a day before that day, I was walking to my hall, and I was talking about with someone. I was talking about Yoruba, that I don't know this Yoruba safe, and I began to cry.
You're that passionate.
And the guy I came back, he looked at me. He said, this Yoruba is like a woman to me. I didn't even have a girlfriend or to my sister. I said, this Yoruba is like a woman to me. That what can I do? That people, this language will die. I was crying. The guy now, he'd be like, so, but the next day I knew when the idea came to my head, bam. And I knew it was the idea to change the whole narrative. I knew. Then I graduated, I did all the thing, and destiny made me to meet with Alibaba. And Alibaba's, I went to meet Alibaba. Alibaba said, this idea, and that was 2010. Alibaba said, this we blow up and all that. So I shared with my friend who is now, managing the whole of me now, Pelumi Ali, and said, this idea, call the company for me, that's Alibaba, call companies, and some of them say, this is too Yoruba, it cannot work, and all that stuff, and blah, blah. And my friend, we registered, we copyrighted, we did everything, 2010, and nothing happened. And in 2024, when I had money to start, I started.
Oh, wow. So the idea has been there, and
It
then it only came to life in 2020.
Because somebody would have taken it.
Because we took it around that time to any company you can think of.
Right.
We took it round, and
so
they
are
said
the ones looking for you now.
Yes.
Is it the story of consistency also played a role here? Because you had a dream and you stayed true to the dream, even though at the time you were not sure how it was going to materialize. Yeah,
but me to say I don't believe in work consistency.
Oh, why?
Yeah, because you see, consistency or being consistent is for people that have options.
Okay.
Really?
It's for you are consistent.
You don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice.
You will stay true.
You will stay. It's either I do Yoruba, I do Yoruba. I be in debt, I do Yoruba. Out of there, I do Yoruba. Borrow money, do Yoruba. You see, English. Just say, you are consistent. You are consistent. I'll be like, wait, okay, Ejo. Kini mba tu ṣe Yorùbá láyé mi mele ṣàìṣe mi ò mata tade mi
but you studied something
you studied computer science.
Yes, I studied computer science,
which could also fetch
yes. So, I use Yoruba, I use computer. If you come to my studio now where I teach, people come, I'll be like, ṣé o de n fi ṣé Yorùbá ló ń come bí by because the gadgets we use to teach Yoruba, a software engineer doesn't even have it, right? Because
so that has helped you
of my knowledge in Yoruba, so we can marry culture with technology.
Fantastic,
right? So that things can go well, because they don't have to be primitive, right? You don't have to make it. You have to make it appealing.
Okay.
You have to sit Yoruba teacher and be like, I want to be a Yoruba teacher. That's his dream. Do you get kids will say, what do you want to become? I want to become a Yoruba teacher. Once we get there,
we have arrived.
We are arrived. I tell you. And the parent will be so proud. You want to be a Yoruba teacher? Really? Like
that will be the day.
That will be the day. And they were happy. Nobody wants. If you say you never fẹ́ ṣeré láyé àtijọ́, never fẹ́ ṣeré láyé, wọ́n ní fẹ́ ṣeré, ó fẹ́ ṣeré láyé. Rí dókítà kó lọ ṣe dókítà. Rí agbẹjọ́rò kó lọ ṣàgbé. Rí engineer kó de engineer. Ó wá lọ fẹ́ ṣeré. Wọ́n á pè pàdé. Ṣùgbọ́n nísìnyí You see parents, you see kids saying, I want to become a TikToker, I want to become a YouTuber, and the parents are happy, buy gadgets for them, come and go and do stuff, right? Just because some people pioneer it, and now rewarding. Ṣé ta ló fẹ́ gbá bọ́ọ̀lù tẹ́lẹ̀? Nísìnyí ẹ̀yin gan lẹ máa ra bọ́ọ̀lù fún ọmọ yín pé kó máa gbá. Ó yá gbá bí ọ̀sùn mọ̀ ṣe gbá bí wọn náà máa gbá bí.
Before we allow you go, tell us your Lagos story. When did you move to Lagos, and how much of impact has Lagos built, not only in you but also in your business?
Right. So see, Lagos is center of excellence. They say if you want to really make it, come to
Lagos.
You know, Lagos is accommodating. You know, Lagos is a typical Yoruba town. Lagos is like Yoruba, Omangba. And when you come in, you blossom. Tó bá mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣe, ọ̀lẹ láyé ò gbà. Gbogbo ibi ló gba lágbára. Ṣé ó yé yín? So Lagos is a place of pride to all of us. Is a place where you come and boot here, but make sure you give back to Lagos, so that others also can, when they come into Lagos, they can boot you and also give back to Lagos, right? So Lagos is a place is an ideal place of existence.
So do you have any experience that you've had in Lagos that you can never forget?
Okay. Positive or negative?
Both, either.
You see, I was going from Opebi, you know that Link Road. So I was going to this side of the road. I was at this side of the road.
Were you driving?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
A long time ago, like 2011 or so. So, and I was looking at the place I was going like this, and I missed the appointment. Because traffic.
Oh my God.
I was looking at the place like this. You know that time now, me o ní awakọ̀. Mo dẹ̀ ṣe báyìí. Kò síbi tí mo lè gbọ́kọ̀ sí. Mo wá palẹ̀. It's on this Masu Ibu thing. So I now called Ali Baba. Mo ń wò yín báyìí. Mo ń wò yín báyìí o. Mo ń wò bí tá ń lọ ṣùgbọ́n mi ò lè dọ́dọ̀ yín o. And you know, it too was talk. And I said, and so that experience really affected stuff. But you see, if it has gone the way I wanted it that time, I may not be here today. Because Masu Ibu wasn't ripe at that time. It was still at the era of right. So that's what gbogbo nǹkan ṣiṣẹ́ papọ̀ fún rere fún ẹni tó gba Ọlọ́run gbọ́. Right. So that experience that we have that we think is negative is actually, you know, towards a positive, because that's what Yoruba call ìlà kọjá. You know, ìlà kọjá. La means to break. Kọjá means to pass through. Ìlà kọjá, so when you say you are going through stuff, you are saying you are breaking through on your way going through it. You see the mentality of our forebears where they say I'm passing through something. That means I'm actually going to get out of this situation. And in that name, la means to break. Right? So I'm going to break through, but I have to pass through this. Go through this. So I'm going to excel at the end of this situation. So you see, when you have that mindset in whatever thing that you passing through, you'll be joyous even by going through it. Say Gen Z.
Dani, lójú pé tí a bá jókòó síbí fún wákàtí méjì, ní mọ̀ pé wákàtí ti lọ, ní mọ̀ pé lẹ̀ ti ṣú. Would have to say thank you to you, Oluko, for finding time to be with us on the program today. It was so easy to reach out to your team, and we got positive response. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We appreciate you. All right, that's the much time we'll take with our guest this morning, and he said it that we all have a role to play in ensuring that we keep our culture, our tradition, and our language in top gear. I try as much as possible to speak Yoruba to my children, even though it is tug of war. And then sometimes, we used to do it so well, now they look at me and say, Mommy, is it Yoruba? I'm like, it cannot be me. That my children will disgrace me. But of course, we just need to do more. Again, adupe, no worry. We'll take a quick break. When we return, the conversation will continue. This time round, it will be an all-girls affair. We have the Nawaj, immediate past. We'll be celebrating one of our own, the immediate past chair of Lagos Nawaj, who spent her time in office. And today we'll just be taking a look at her time, her legacies, and of course, what she intends to do going forward. We'll be back after the short break.